What's up guys, Dukesalot here, and today I want to talk a little bit about something slightly unconventional, which is key bindings. The standard key bindings in Smite are kind of uncomfortable in some regards and probably not the ideal setting you could get. Therefore, I'm gonna go into that. This video is aimed at beginners and advanced players. Pros will know this stuff. The key bindings I'm using are the ones that I'm going to show you first, and then I'm going to show you an alternate version for people that don't have the same hands as I do. Okay, let's start with mine. I've changed over from using the standard WASD setting to E, S, D, and F. Moving forward is E, moving backward is D, strafing left is S, strafing right is F. What that does is it places your hand a little more towards the center of your keyboard and allows you to use more keys to the left of it. Why this is important is something we're going to talk about in a second. So basically nothing much has changed, only that all your fingers have moved one key to the right. Other than that, I've moved toggle Autorun from numpad to Q. Many of you might not even know this. You can toggle Autorun. I'm going to show you just for a second how that works. If you toggle Autorun, I got my hands up here and I'm still walking. This is brilliant to get back to lane. You can also walk around, type something, well, wonderful, and yeah, just keep on doing whatever you're doing without having to worry about holding down that W or, in my case, E key. Something you should definitely get used to. Can be very helpful for communication, especially in ranked games where people don't use curse, league games, sorry. So yeah, definitely get it somewhere closer, or at least get used to using numpad. I've put my jump to left shift because I didn't really want to lose having the function to jump, the possibility to jump. It's not an important function though, so it can be like somewhat out there. I can still use it while walking, it's okay. Fire and cancel fire stay just the same as they are. Nothing exciting here. This is where it gets interesting. For some reason, this shows up wrong on my Smite client. Those four being called ID whatever not found are ability 1 to 4, like using these abilities, not leveling them. My 1 is on my A key instead of the 1. This allows me to put my pinky finger on it and never have to take it off there while playing. Same goes for ability 2, which is where my ring finger is. So I got my pinky finger on A, my ring finger on W, and my middle finger on E. I'm not going to show you my middle finger in this video. Ability 3 is on R, so my index finger is on it. So basically, my whole hand is lying on keys that are pretty narrow, pretty close to each other. The ultimate is what changes, and this will take some time to get used to. The whole key setting will take some time to get used to, but this one especially, because ultimate is on spacebar. You no longer jump with your spacebar, but you have your ultimate there. The reason for this is you get your thumb right there, and you can always use it right away without having to move your fingers. Some people prefer to put it on T or E if they're using the WSD setting, but I think that spacebar is probably the superior place to put it. My actives are on the thumb button of my mouse. This might not be possible if your mouse doesn't have thumb buttons. In that case, I'd recommend putting them on 3 and 4 because those are still really close. You can reach them with your ring finger or your index finger, and you're not losing out on too much. My recall is moved to N simply because you don't have to use it in the middle of a fight in most situations. And I rather access my consumables really quick when I need a pot. I put that on V and B, which are pretty much right above my spacebar, so I can just use my thumb to access those keys, move my fingers up slightly, and get myself up, which is always great. My train abilities are put to 1, 2, 3, 4. You can also leave them on the F keys. I just thought they're a little bit closer. If you don't have thumb buttons on your mouse, you should obviously not put them on the 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. Free mouse is still on left alt. I don't think that's changed in the standard setting. and other than that, most of the things stay the same. What changes is the VGS. This is probably the other part that's fairly complicated, especially if you're new to the game, because you kind of have to relearn VGS. Usually using V for the commands, and as V is used for a consumable, you could put the consumable on C though, but you have to get used to doing your commands with G. I actually prefer this because it's like right next to your index finger and it's easier to reach while playing, and VGS can be really important in higher levels of play. This is all I have changed in my abilities. Now, there's an alternative setup that I wanted to get into as well, and this setup is especially, like the setup I'm using is especially good if you have longer fingers. No jokes on that, please, they're completely overused. Thank you. The alternative setup is leaving your fingers on the WASD keys. It's probably easier for a lot of people who played shooters for quite a while. I did too, and I changed over, but some people might just feel uncomfortable with changing that. And what you do is you take pretty much the exact same setup that I have, but instead of putting your first ability on the A key, you put your first ability on Shift, or your third ability if that's kind of your thing. Then you put your second ability on Q, and your third ability on E. Still putting the old on spacebar though. This is probably better if you have a little shorter fingers, because then your pinky finger doesn't have to stretch out as far. For me, it's just a lot more comfortable to have it closer to my ring finger. That really depends on how to feel better with. And obviously the rest of the keys change a little bit as well. The consumables would be on the C and V then, and going back to base would stay on B. Other than that, you could put the VGS on F in that case. You could leave it where it is and put your consumables somewhere else. That's really up to you. But yeah, you get the basic idea. And what I also wanted to get into while talking about all these settings is targeting. First of all, targeting. You should check out what's best for you here. You should check out if you like the distance line, if you like the ground target, what kind of reticule you like, what kind of highlighting. These things make a difference, especially when it comes to targeting somebody and knowing where you're aiming and how far your range is and all that. Everybody has different preferences in this settings. These are mine, but don't rely on what I do. Just do what you feel best about. And what you should get used to with most abilities, if not all, is quick casting. I have pretty much every ability on quick casting. I feel like instant casting doesn't really do much of a difference for you, to be honest, because the moment you release the key, the ability gets popped up, and with quick casting you're still able to aim. And some people, for example, say that you don't need to aim with Bakasura's minion, but sometimes you do. You need to aim for the big minion of the wave, and sometimes it doesn't work out as well as you want to. And in that case, instant casting is kind of detrimental. Quick casting is usually the way to go. Some exceptions apply. And what you can also do is press your K button to access the ability setup. And there you can change the cast mode for every single ability. The default for me is set to quick casting, so I'm just using default for all of these abilities. But if I wanted to have the ult on instant casting, which I did with Nemesis for a while, I don't recommend doing it. It's just you get the first target that's close to you, but sometimes you don't hit it and you don't really know why. I could just go click instant casting here and it would be set to instant casting. That's all you need to do there. I am going to add a little gameplay, but this kind of marks the end of this episode. Hope this helps you, and I'm just going to show off a little bit now how well it works. So basically, this is me playing now. I'm walking around and I can still hold down my abilities, use my abilities. I can I don't ever have to leave my middle finger off the E button and can keep on walking forward. I can just shield up, I can walk in, and it all goes a fair bit faster than it would with the standard settings, because I'd always have to reach up here and press 1, 2, 3, 4, which is really inconvenient if you ask me. Therefore, I highly recommend using the settings if you want to improve your reaction speed while playing and well, in the end, probably win more games that way. To be honest, it's nothing less than that. Because if your enemy is using these settings and you're using these settings, you're not using the settings, and you both play equally well, then it's very, very likely that your opponent will beat you simply because he's going to be able to use his abilities a slight split second earlier than you would. That's it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. Duke Sloth out.